Thanks for coming. I know we have a late show tonight because of the debate. Did you get to watch it?
I came here early so that I could watch it.
Oh, excellent.
And mercifully, you have an open bar.
Yes.
Because I find it very stressful.
The debate itself.
Debating.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're not actually debating.
I worried for every one of them. Yeah, I feel it in my bones because it is not an organic place for debate, strangely enough. That's what you were saying in the monologue about the 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to be concise and you can't get into detail and you have to hit all the right notes. But I think, by the way, that most of them did a very good job of that. Would you agree?
Listen, I think that, first of all, anybody who has a serious mission of service, which I believe is true of all of them, along with other agendas, perhaps, deserves a lot of credit. And to be able to be articulate and to have any clarity on the issues under those circumstances is extraordinary. And I come out of it supporting Dave Chappelle for president.
That would be fun. But you're a Trump guy, right?
You know that. It's LGBTQ and T again, tortoise. This is the animal you would, as an actor in class, you would sort of use that as the animal equivalent of President Trump.
A tortoise?
If you're watching him, I've been thinking that more and more, not with any political position on it, but just he's very tortoise-like.
In what way? That's interesting, because I feel like you're insulting tortoise.
As I was saying it, I knew that people would think that. No, I don't want to... Listen, here's what I felt about the debate tonight, is more and more I think that what they did better tonight was staying on issues, less on him. Mm-hmm. I think that if we're in a country where he doesn't make the argument well enough against him, then we've lost anyway. They don't need to address him. I felt it more tonight because they didn't do it tonight.
I think of that as a given. Yeah, it's like, okay, we know.
If people truly want to vote against their self-interest continuously, then he will be the next president of the United States again. But if they're paying attention, there are talented people in the group we saw tonight. And more importantly, there are talented people who are not in government that are going to... Because one of the things you notice watching this is that nobody is really talking about leadership other than related to how you're going to pass a bill in Congress and so on. And we've seen the potential of a president, for example, the current president, to lead us to El Paso and to lead us to all kinds of enhanced hatred and anger and separation. But there's also this positive leadership that has to do with building coalition and supporting leaders among young people, particularly in the country now, who are really, because we know it's a cultural revolution that's going to shift this stuff, and it's those people getting behind a leader once they're in office that's going to force Congress to do the things they're going to have to do. So this is the only hope we've got, given
Well, we have a tendency, I think, especially with young people, to sometimes get behind a leader and then elect them and maybe vote and do all those things that you need to do, and then that's kind of it, and then you wait.
Yeah, but this generation does seem different to me because I certainly, I'm born 1960, and I certainly would have liked to have considered myself amongst a generation that was going to demand change.
Who was the first president you voted for? Do you remember? Let's see, 1960. You would have to be 18, so there'll be 1978.
Yeah.
So that would be just after Jimmy Carter, I guess?
Yeah, that was what Doug Brinkley called an unfinished presidency. I like Jimmy Carter a lot. Yeah, so I don't remember whether I voted or not in that election.
Oh, you don't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tell your kids, you have to vote? You'd better vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that says everything about, so much of my generation.
Yeah. Although sometimes when your parents tell you what you have to do, then you just don't want to do it.
We excelled in hypocrisy.
Yeah. People think of you as a very serious guy in general. Do you think of yourself as a serious guy?
No, well, firstly, I think of myself as somebody who's perceived as being very self-serious. Mm-hmm. And I've contributed greatly to that. But I'm typically uncomfortable in a room of more than 4 friends in an environment I know.
Right.
And this is one of the things I was thinking about watching those debaters tonight, was that it is very difficult to express the things that one feels as the things they feel, especially in this kind of competitive policy debate and so on, in the way that will connect with people. It's why I said what I said about Dave Chappelle, is that I was watching this special
on Netflix,
did.
yeah.
And this is something, by the way, I may have said this to you before, but this is something I think about what you do in this job. It's even just backstage listening to you rattle off the parts that are going to various stations and so on in other parts of the country. To be able to do that and to do it every night with that kind of consistency and that kind of articulation is amazing.
Oh, thanks, everybody. Well, the bad news is I can't do anything else. But I am good at looking over there and reading. That is one of my top skills.
That's not true, because I know he had to write that monologue right after the debate.
Well,
right
yeah,
before he walked out.
We did. It's a group effort, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, there are other people involved.
Well, it's all good.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Ain't nothing going nowhere without a group effort.
Is there somebody you saw tonight that you think? Because I'll tell you how I came away from it. I thought, wow, a lot of them seem good, And so it makes it harder to decide when somebody doesn't really break away.
I think you have to be of a mind to say, I am strategic, or I believe this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to take one of those positions tonight, because I have become, particularly in the last year for some reason, increasingly focused and excited about younger people than myself deciding what strategy should be and what it is of the heart and what the principles are. If the issue is simply to beat the current president, I don't think I can participate very actively. Mm-hmm. There's got to be more than that, because what starts at the top also starts at the bottom. Things move towards the middle together. And so I really think it's much more about what the population is going to do than who wins the presidency. There were many competent people on that stage tonight, but they are all going to need us to hold them to the fire if they happen to win, so that things continue. And I don't know if I might fall asleep, but the young people in the country won't. And I believe this generation will hold a president to the fire.
Sean Penn is with us. His new book is called Bob Honey Sings Jimmy Crack Corn. We'll be right back. Sean Penn is back with us. Green Day and Danielle McDonald are on the way. This is Sean's book right here. It's called Bob Honey Sings Jimmy Crack Corn. This is it a sequel to Bob Honey Who Just Do Stuff?
It's a direct continuation of it. Yeah.
Bob Honey is a character that has a habit or maybe calling of killing people with a mallet.
Elderly people.
Elderly people with a mallet.
Yeah.
Is this based on anyone in your life?
It's based on a public need to diminish the depletion of the ozone by flatulence of that population.
That's a private need as well.
Yeah, yep. and the lack of the elderly to participate in the global economy properly. Mm-hmm. So he works for an unnamed government organization, and then decides that there's only dignity in assassination, or if done intimately with a mallet.
You've got a character called Mr. Landlord, who seems to be based on someone we're all familiar with.
Someone in the turtle porpoise.
Someone who's tortoise-like. I still don't get the tortoise thing, but I mean, he doesn't even eat vegetables. How could he be a tortoise? He's like a Big Mac eating tortoise, is what he is. I want to talk about your charity, because I went to your charity event, which was a fantastic event. You had Cat Stevens performing at this. Jamie Foxx was the MC at the event. It was really quite an event, and you've done so much work in Haiti, and now you are continuing to work in Haiti, I know, but also your group, CORE, C-O-R-E, is working in the Bahamas right now.
Correct.
On the ground there, helping the people there in the places that they need it. What a great thing that you established this. You went to Haiti when they needed help, and then you said, okay, well, now we're going to expand this and keep doing it.
Well, I'll use what you said. It's a group effort. I've got really great people, and most of them Haitian now, because our organization sort of Haitianized over time. And what ended up happening is that because we ended up working so much beyond emergency relief and development in Haiti, our kind of skin in the game on emergency relief, we had a deep experience pool and skill sets in that group, and it didn't seem, it seemed a natural thing to expand and to start participating in these escalating storms and so on, both in the hurricane belt of the United States and within the Caribbean.
So you've got these people, Haitian people, who went through this themselves, who are now helping in the Bahamas.
We're helping in the Bahamas, and we're helping in Florida and in Savannah, Georgia, a couple of years ago, and going out. So we'll see where it goes from here. Mm-hmm. There's, I think, for anybody working in that today, it feels like David and Goliath. And obviously, so many things discussed in the debate tonight are going to have to happen to work hand in hand with any of. Prevention certainly is better than what we're doing.
It would be nice if we tried to cut back on this somehow rather than cleaning it up afterwards. Yeah. I know backstage we asked you to read a mean tweet for our segment, Mean Tweets, and you did do that. But you have some more, I understand.
No, I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
Because I did it once when I was here.
Right.
And I didn't do it the next time because for me, doing it backstage feels like taking a selfie.
I see.
And I don't like, so I decided, I asked if I could just read them here with everybody.
Yeah, read them here, yeah. So, I just wanted to say, and I think this is interesting. One of our producers told me that you've not seen any of these. We just picked them for you and gave them to you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it.
All right.
All right. You're right, this is a more fun way.
It's gonna be tough for these people, I'm sure, to come up with anything because I'm so universally liked.
Well, let's find out.
All right, do I say who it's from?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is from @just. Why does Sean Penn look like a gigantic turd that got run over by 1,500 semis and then backed into a tar road on a boiling hot July afternoon?
Very, very detailed.
Okay, and then and then this next one says, Sean Penn's just mad that he looks like the inside of a banana skin. But you didn't hear it from me. And then Kevin S. says...
Oh, he's the worst.
Was he on House of Cards? Sean Penn seems like the kind of guy who would delete an Instagram if he didn't get enough likes.
No way you're on Instagram, right?
I just got rid of email.
Oh, okay.
I don't have Instagram. Let's see. Sean Penn seems like he'd stab me for no reason. That's true. And then immaculately stitch my wounds while telling me about his time in Haiti.
Oh! I think that might have been a compliment.
Sean, this is interesting grammatically. Sean Penn, you rude. Dumb rude and full of farts. You stanky Sean, real-time stanker.
Well, I'm gonna have to credit whoever, Mr. Reed 212. Sean Penn, everybody, this is his book. Bob Honey sings Jimmy Crack Corn. We'll be back with Danielle McDonald. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and I am not allowed to eat this cookie until you click the subscribe button, so please click now. I'm hungry.